Part 2. Hey y'all, this is D.
Conference season.
And this is C.
And this is Black Meets World.
This is Ray. I take flight. What y'all know about me? I ain't got no job.
You
gotta stop banging the table.
E is living his best life right now. It's approximately 11 p.m. on a Thursday night. Yo, niggas got work tomorrow.
I don't have work tomorrow.
I ain't got work tomorrow.
I do.
Stop banging on the
Yo,
table.
who ain't got work tomorrow? You ain't got work?
I got work. I got a job.
Tommy ain't got work tomorrow.
I'll go with that name. I'll go with Tommy for that name. Y'all call me Tommy this round.
I gotta be at the plantation at 8 a.m.
Oh no,
I'll be cold.
It's worth it. We appreciate y'all. It's worth it. You're gonna have a good time tonight. It doesn't happen a lot.
Tommy, Martin, and Cole. We good. You got it.
Tommy, which one? Who's who?
I'm Tommy.
Martin.
I'm Ray.
Oh,
I just know.
No, Tommy, Martin, and Cole.
Tommy, Martin, and Cole.
Bruh man.
Bruh man for the fifth. You got some toast?
All right, Bruh man, Tommy, and Cole.
I'll be cold.
Or Shanae.
No, you need to be key, low. Kei, low.
Shanae.
No, but like legit, like Liz, you would be like the perfect Shanae. I will be Pam.
What's the pimpy play?
I am going to be Pam. I'll be Shanae.
What's the pimpy play?
Jerome.
Jerome.
All right. Jerome. Okay, wait, listen.
All right, we live.
I love Black culture. Okay, wait.
I love
So I'm gonna be just go around so I know who to say is what.
D is
I'm Gina.
I need my pen.
Who
Take
are
my
you?
name tag.
I'm Ray / Bro Man.
Okay.
E is Bruh man from the 5th floor. D is
Help if you say the original edition.
Cause I'm a
I had no name before Cole.
Wait, okay. Listen. This episode.
This episode number 20.
If you haven't figured it out, this is the cuffing season
Cold
episode.
world.
Because at some point
It's about to get real.
in the last 2 weeks, Mother Nature came through New York heavy.
Finally.
And it's cold as all.
Yo, it went from fucking 70 degrees to negative like 1 degree.
It's not that bad, but it's
we about to have a blizzard in New York this weekend. I just want to make that.
I can't talk for Cole. Me and Cole were in school. We were hoes. So we might have a lot to bring to
Open
this
up
table.
the conversation, please.
Go ahead.
Please. Well,
Kick it
since you
off.
set the fucking tone.
Cold.
God damn.
Hold on.
That came on.
We use that reform word.
The weather is cold outside. It's official Netflix and chill weather. We are going to go around.
There's Netflix and beach.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
Plowing the soil.
What he said earlier?
Plowing the ground.
Listen.
D is talking, nobody else talks.
Sorry.
Hey, y'all can hear it. Speak for C.
He said
What about C,
No,
goddamn?
not you.
I was
either.
plowing the soil.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I'm your roommate. Hold up. Wait a goddamn minute.
At least stop.
Listen.
You gotta hold the.
Listen. Here's what
You
we're
gotta
gonna
hold
do.
the. You gotta hold the duct tape when you
Yeah.
talk.
One mic rule.
Here's the first thing that we're gonna go around and do. You need to go around and say your current relationship status.
How many bodies you got?
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just kidding.
No, that's real.
I go first.
No, we are. So, as women and men, we are going to introduce ourselves.
We're shattering double standards.
Yes, we're shattering that shit.
Cole.
Dating under 100.
Sorry, your age.
Also under 100.
Well played.
I guess I'm Martin. We don't have a Martin.
We don't got a Martin. Go ahead, Martin. Go ahead, you Martin.
I would be fucking.
I'm bro, man.
What's
What's happening?
What's happening
Go ahead. Tell us your current status and whatever else you feel inclined to tell us.
in a relationship?
How long have you been in a relationship?
Ooh. Details.
Talk to him.
Tell us.
For a while.
So under over 6 months.
That's fair.
You gotta start thinking technicalities, but we started dating
over 6
and
months.
Okay,
Dating.
fine.
We started smashing the first week.
Yo, so over
We went
so
from
over
conscious-
6 months, but under a year, and you are happily dating your boyfriend.
Happily dating.
And she's
I think
28.
it's
She ain't say all that.
And she's 20.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
Happily
I know
dating.
her.
Oh, happily
Yeah,
dating.
she can speak on it.
You can't speak for her. She has to say.
She was speaking on it.
Hey, if you don't have the tape.
I'm Pam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 23, and I'm gonna give her a real body count number. 12.
Damn.
Oh wow.
oh, we keeping it. Oh, we keeping it real.
Because
Okay.
women don't really keep it all 100.
Let me get my phone.
That's my
I
experience.
got a list.
Wait, 12.
Block his
Women or
IP
men?
address.
Both.
Ooh, get talk to him.
3, 2,
I'm done with
We
y'all
live.
so much. This is Shanae, cause I'm a lady. And I am 28 years old. I'm single at this current moment.
Okay.
Single and swinging. I'm sorry.
I am, and as far as body count, I am under
that's
20, so I'm very happy to have that number.
It is bro, man, from the 5th floor.
From the 5th floor.
I got under 100 bodies,
That's my number.
and I'm under 100.
How old are you?
Under 100.
I'm under 100.
And are you single, dating, or exclusive?
I'm fucking.
The revolution, look, the revolution, look, the whole
Yo,
revolution
we
is
talking about
over.
Literally,
I'm fucking conscious women.
Lord.
So you are currently
They woke
not,
at least.
you're currently not looking for anything serious.
No, I'm not looking for anything.
Okay,
serious. I'm-
cool.
We still
Going on to Payne. No, Gina.
Gina.
We do have name tags.
Gina's 23. I struggle.
Ooh, I like that.
Ah.
She's conscious.
Well, because I'm not. Shut up.
He likes conscious women, though.
She said,
He likes
ain't
conscious
nobody
women,
said that.
though.
She said, what's your body count? I struggle. I like that.
You know she's conscious because you got a
I like
protective
that.
hairstyle.
She got a protective hairstyle. You know she conscious as shit.
Done.
Oh man.
Unless you got dreads, then it don't matter.
Coconut oil solves all
I
that.
hope this makes the edits.
For real, it's the bloopers.
This
Y'all-
episode's gonna be like 2 minutes.
Y'all are out of control. So
I'm enjoying every minute of this shit for the
my
record.
body count is under 10.
Well, that's dope. That's
Wow.
cool.
And
Age has a part, as I play with that.
How you ad-libbing?
I think I said like I was there at one point in
That's
time.
why we're
New York was good to me.
She out here ad-libbing.
It's like back in Atlanta. Back in Atlanta.
New York has done
I
you
was
well.
like 9.
so,
Say something.
and I'm currently,
She thinking. I like that.
Dating?
yeah, like talking to people and
Okay.
dating.
What is, I'm sorry, as a person outside of the African American community, what does talking mean?
Yeah.
So talking is when
He was number
You're
9.
not official, but you're just trying to see if
What do they
you
call
wanna
that?
go
They
there.
call that something.
You seem
Hooking up.
private.
Hooking up.
Hooking up.
Hooking up. They call
But not
that.
even
Hooking up,
black.
No, what's the 50s term?
Courting. Let me tell y'all
They'll
something.
come back to me.
No, I'm talking about
Okay.
talking
It's
to.
the help finish.
Oh, we're going steady.
Oh, yeah.
We're steady.
Okay,
We're steady.
listen.
Okay, Kelly Kapowski. Like what?
It
We're
has,
talking about them.
Saved by the Bell.
it has different meanings. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, talking and dating means that I am not in a relationship. There are people I'm paying more attention to than others, but it doesn't necessarily
It's just
mean
been talking and dating. They're kind of all in the same for you, or was talking and
it's
dating more serious?
It's circumstantial. Like if I'm hitting you up, but we might not hang out as much as someone who I'm actively dating and seeing more. That's all.
Okay.
But it's I wouldn't say like I'm out
so many
here.
nuances.
No, we got
My turn is
we got
over.
one more person. Hello. Oh, y'all got me feeling like
Yeah,
fucking.
let's go.
Wait. Oh, okay. Got me feeling like a prudish out here. I am really single.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, and I'm under 30
Pam
twice.
took the deepest breath.
Under 30 twice.
Yes.
Body and age. Come on, keep
Keep up.
So under 30 twice. Okay, cool.
Oh, I tease.
Basically, everybody,
Cole.
nobody's in a relationship, from what I heard.
Wait,
I am.
Except for one person.
Good for you.
Don't get nobody in trouble over
Martin
there.
is the only one in a relationship.
No, Martin is in a relationship. Shout outs to you.
I'm in a relationship.
I'm a triple guy.
With myself.
I'm done with you.
That's why I wasn't listening to him when he was doing that. I was like,
With what?
So he said Sam's coming.
And on that note, I think it's timely that we talk about cuffing season since it just got cold in New York. And we want to understand everybody, sitting here today, what your status is for Netflix and chill, for cuffing season, for Valentine's Day, and how all of that landscape or that whole area look.
All these terms are killing the game.
So one thing I have to
Recommend.
say is one of the main person that I'm talking, Lord.
The main.
Is that a rat tail?
It
He's
is.
that late.
That's his woke side.
We know
he got the dark season in
It's
front,
all-
party in the back, revolutionary
It
in
is
the back.
11:20. It is 11:20. We've been here for 3 hours.
That's his woke side.
And uncoiled. He like, we ready now. Now we live.
Oh, party in the front, revolutionary. So
In
much
the
back.
So much for
I'm about to
aliases.
go.
That's his woke side.
If y'all gonna keep referring to me as a revolutionary, then I'm gonna talk as a revolutionary.
No.
We're done.
Let's go.
Bro, then
they
get
were
your step in,
multi-dimensional.
sis.
We digress so damn heavy.
We gotta bring this out. Let's go. Come on.
So
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bang it out.
Listen.
What Cole said. I'm trying to bang it out.
Whole. Never go full whole.
He said never go full hole.
He's going
That is a
full
fact.
hole.
Never go full hole.
Ain't no such
That's
thing as
words
a
of wi-
full hole.
words
There's
of
only
wisdom.
hot boys.
The question was, where are you at in cuffing season? What is your Netflix and chill situation? For me,
that shit is corny.
the main person that I'm focusing on doesn't live near here.
Focusing on.
So-
something else.
I'm here.
He said, because guess what?
Talk to him.
My point is this, like, it's really hard to have that sort of, like, foresight for Valentine's Day or cuffing season or Netflix and chill when you're not with the person in the same place. So I don't know where I am in that, whatever timeline, because A, I don't really go by it, but B, like, it's complicated because it's sort of a distance situation. I've had plans to go to Toronto with my friends for Valentine's Day weekend.
That sounds like All-Star Weekend.
It is.
I was about to say, that's All-Star.
It is, and we're going for All-Star Weekend, and we're gonna be lit, and I'm not worrying about it at all.
Oh shit, bitch!
You out there, CG too?
I'm jumping on that trip too.
So I just want to piggyback off what you said. That you said you're not really sure where you're at with this holiday season coming up. But I'm sure by the time that this podcast drops, I'm sure that they'll make it clear.
Yeah.
They're like, okay. I'm gonna pass on this one, just because I'll come back. I'll let you guys.
Nah, there's
you
no
got
passing,
to
big.
You have the Tommy said
already
he's
had
In case y'all forget.
Tommy
outta
said that
here.
he's recently single, and I guess that's where he is in this process.
All right,
Go ahead,
moving
Cole.
on to Cole.
But how does that make you feel? Like,
Are you happy about being single?
Yeah.
She was really cute. We liked her.
We did, and I did too. Oh, I guess I'll think about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I did too. I'm about to shameless plug because I know she will hear this. I just didn't want it to be a case of like
That's
waste
good.
her time. 2016. There was a.
So you broke up with her.
I got a lot of focusing to do. So at this point in time, we're gonna focus. And if you let it out as cage and it comes back to you, it's yours.
Preach.
That's fine.
Going on to Cole. Sorry if you keep hearing these glasses clanging. It's because we're currently tipsy. And we're putting the bottles away.
Shanae's drunk.
Oh, go ahead.
Cold cuffing season. Don't believe in that. Valentine's Day. I mean, I don't believe in it, but it's one of those L's you got to take as a guy for a chick. Valentine's Day, like you're gonna wedding and like a ring. Those are three battles that you're just not gonna fight, right?
Wait.
I'm gonna fight him.
Explain it for those for the ladies in the room who aren't very.
I mean, like
familiar.
I appreciate ladies that I'm dating or with all the time. So why do I need a whole other day? That makes little sense. But in the large scope of things, y'all can get it. Y'all can still get it because it's
get what though?
you can have a day where we do something else special, but it's like I
Okay.
treat you special
That's
all the
also
time.
offensive.
So it's like, why is it like we need a whole other day to treat you special? As far as Valentine's plans, I expect to be out of the country conveniently.
Where you going? Where you going? Where you heading to?
I mean, it looks like All-Star Weekend is the move. So
Now, February, what are you talking about? Mardi Gras.
what was the other part of the question? In the whole cuffing season, Netflix and chill. Like Netflix and chill is definitely ruining
Be out of
stuff.
town.
Because people are now a little too weary. Like, we've been running this movie G since like college,
Yeah.
We've been good.
It's never been
and now it's like,
labeled.
now there's a
It's never
term
been
attached to
labeled.
it. It's like,
So now
It's what
It's
kids
like-
are growing up to know. Like, oh, this is the standard.
it's
as
like we
opposed to,
can't we
you
can't go
discover that
out.
over
We
time
can't
when
go
you
out every night.
trust-
Sometimes we are just gonna chill and kick it, but it's not a derogatory thing, like.
But
we just
I
got
think
work the next
the
day. We gonna chill.
derogatoryness comes from like
If you
Netflix and chill.
only
People
trying
you don't
to-
know.
I suppose.
Yeah, if I don't know you, I'm not Netflixing and chill.
Yeah, you don't want
But a
everybody
lot
to
of
be in
niggas
their crib.
would though.
All right, so just to get back on Valentine's Day as a whole, the way I see it, and I feel like more people need to see it this way, it's not just a holiday for the women. So women need to take the initiative and also do something special for your man.
Yeah, that's what's fun about it.
Like, I strongly, I don't want to see, it's nice that if your guy gets you flowers and y'all do stuff, but what are you giving him? It's not just oh, it's my birthday, so you're putting all this great stuff on me. You have to show him that you love him as well.
Right.
And not just some little booty ass, oh, I'm gonna make you a coupon book and I'm just gonna give you a back rub.
I'm gonna cook tonight.
I'm gonna cook. I mean,
What's wrong
I
with
don't. no, it's nothing wrong with that. But on the flip side, if the guy did something like that and was like, oh, well, I'm going to take you out to the movies, the girl would be like, well, you're supposed to do that anyway. So what else you got? What else is in that little card that you got? But I'm saying, like, you just need you really just need to have, like guys, you need to have a standard for, like, your Valentine's Day too. Like, you might not see it as like, oh, this is my holiday too, but I feel like if guys get a little bit more active and participate and maybe don't expect it or be in the whole mindset of like, I'm about to spend a whole bunch of bread, but then just come at her and be like, she'll come at you and be like, oh, so what are we doing for Valentine's Day? Maybe you need to clap back at her and be like, what are we doing for Valentine's Day? Because, you know, I saw this nice watch that I like, because she would do the same thing to you, or however your relationship is. I just think that it should be equal. So
sounds good.
Damn, man.
Shout out to Martin.
Yeah, but I
didn't know about you like 6 months ago.
Who you man? Who your man?
A lucky man.
Like, can you write a book for me, please, and make one read it?
I just feel like Valentine's Day is the same in terms of like, it doesn't need to be a real day because I'm gonna be treating you the same way. Like, I'm gonna be treating you like that regardless. Like on the female end as well as on the male end, it's like, okay, you might be doing all this stuff for me anyway, and like I'm gonna be doing the same kind of stuff for you. So why do we need this one day to be like hypersensitive about it and be like, oh?
But see, I don't like that as well. I guess I don't like when people try to discredit holidays, like in general, or like try to.
What are the origins of Valentine's Day?
Right.
Thank you. Can I get the tape?
No, it definitely.
Let me talk to that.
I'm saying growing up. This is how I'm thinking of it. Growing up, you celebrate Valentine's Day. Yeah, I guess in your mind it's like, okay, every single year you give out little cards. I see it as just like a day for you to express your interest or your love for somebody, whether or not it's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a friend, a mom, or whoever. Like, granted, I do it all throughout the year, but, you know, just take a day. Like, we celebrate National Hug Day, National this day, National that day.
I don't know about none of these days.
No, I'm saying, I didn't grow up with National Hug Day. I'm saying now you have hashtag National this, National that day. Anyway, what was the original question?
I guess your plans.
The original question.
The original question was, what's your number?
What's your Netflix and chill situation, and what's your Valentine's Day plans? But you are in a relationship, so both those things are already determined.
That's not a question.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know how whatchamacallit's out here giving it up.
Yeah, cuffing season. We cuffing.
We need to add an extra question to it. What's your favorite position?
Next tape.
Savage.
What you mean?
Tape.
Yeah, I'm single. I don't have any prospects. I have 0 prospects.
But by single,
girl, you just holding on to this shit.
There was an underlying story that didn't need to be called a breast on because it came like, wow, what happened just now?
I was in a wondrous relationship with one of her good friends.
I remember this.
Wow.
It's okay.
This is from the summer.
They say he's a menace, but I love
Yeah,
him.
we're not dating. We've been broken up for a while. I'm single as hell. Like, that's the thing. And like I was saying, I'm sorry that you heard.
But if he slid, you would
But
slide.
we're both fine with where we are.
I like both of you, and I just want you to be back.
So no prospects, and on Valentine's Day, I'm looking to have a prospect, so maybe I can get my backbone.
Hey,
That's
you can have my drink. I toast to that. Can we please bring the cups up?
In the words of Ron
I toast to
Burgundy,
that.
that escalated
I
quickly.
toast.
You got about 27 days to find that.
I know I'm.
Hey, yo.
I know.
Making sure a soul swipe.
Yo.
I love y'all. This is Shanae, cause I'm a lady.
You didn't have the same reception the first time.
I am never in New York City.
By choice.
And whatever. Yeah, by choice, by job, whatever you want to call it. I will say this. I'm currently single, and I have nothing planned for the upcoming months.
Months.
I'm so sorry.
As it will be for
You on
my
hiatus?
lifestyle.
Listen.
I literally am not around, and I haven't actively responded to text messages soliciting Netflix and chill situations.
Y'all, she don't even respond to my text messages, so I can only imagine what her inbox
I'm
looks
trying
like.
to start on a new foot. I'm trying to be more intentional about my.
Man, this group text that we got going on.
No.
Ray, you just tell me if I'm lying.
What?
4-hour response time.
But
leave me be.
In Shanae's defense, we did not take account into travel time. She might be in the air, jet lag. So there's levels to this shit. Do remember that. Exactly.
I will admit this. So my friend was like, yo, you should join Tinder. Like, it has really good, like, blah, 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 prospects. So I was like, I don't like Tinder. Like, I was on it, like, in 2010 or whatever year it started. Yeah, I was an early adopter. And, like, I got into a relationship, so I never looked back at it. So I recently downloaded Tinder. And because of my lifestyle, I didn't realize if I use Tinder in another city,
people will buy you, right?
People buy me in that city will be like, yo, what's up with the what's up?
That's your...
So... I'm in California.
That's your age.
Niggas from New York, niggas from Nashville looking like, yo, this white boy, I'll never forget. This white boy was like, his bio was really funny. He was like, I joined black people meet, but they kicked me off. And he was like, but I'm trying to find my, like, you know, find a special girl. But like, he didn't say nothing like that, because if he had said something like that, I would have been really like, it would turn me off. But I've been meeting a lot of people in other cities that I will not be visiting for like the next like 5 weeks. Who are
5 weeks?
Because that's how long my visits are. Like, I don't be visiting the same places every other week. So a lot of people are like, yo, let's meet up. You seem great. All this other stuff. And I'm like, yo, I don't even live in that city, man. I'm not going to be there for another 5 weeks. I'm probably be there for about a total of 26 hours. And I don't feel like seeing nobody. But I appreciate
Fadi
Makati.
Okay, so now that we know where everyone stands... There was a question earlier about Shanae. You asked the question.
Shanae asked the question, at what age, as males, I'm very curious as a woman, do you think, A, I'll be ready? Because I feel like when it comes to men, you're ready at a certain moment. What age, or does it depend on the girl that you meet? What makes you feel like, you know what? I think I'm ready for that next step.
Hold on, are we recording for this? Because are we recording?
Yeah. No, this is fire.
This is like the bane. Okay, I'm not gonna say that because we're recording. It wasn't, but it was like a problem I struggled with because there was an age gap, and I was like,
"What's the age gap? What's her age? What's your
She was
age?
younger.
Older.
What's the difference?
No,
what was the
she's
difference?
older.
Was it
3 years?
3 years? That's not that bad.
But I'm 26.
It's different lanes.
In your 20s, it's a bigger gap.
I mean, yeah, it's a different lane. Yeah.
Versus.
So you have the tape. Go ahead.
If you question any woman about her beliefs and what it is that she stands on as far as a woman, you know what I'm saying, with respects to marriage or whatever the case may be, we'll get into what's called deductive reasoning or deductive questioning. So any of you ladies would like to engage in that exchange with me?
Let's go.
Yeah, we're ready.
She said it first.
All right, Shanae is going.
Okay, so Shanae is going first. Shanae, you want to get married?
Yes.
Why do you want to get married?
I was raised in a 2-parent household who was married for, this will be their 40th year anniversary, so I would like to procreate, have kids, and be married.
Do you have to get
and
married
I like
to do that?
consistency. I would like consistency. I would like the father of my child to be in the home and raise our children together.
So you just brought up a separate point. You say you want the father of your kids to be in a home and be able to be somewhat consistent, you know what I'm saying, to keep that mind frame that you have of your family. Do you need to be married to do that?
So in the more conservative constructs, that is what I know. I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia, in the South. All of my friends who I grew up with are either have kids or are married or they live with a baby father, all that stuff. For me, because that comes more naturally, and I've witnessed couples being together for long periods of time and raising children, that is something that I aspire to have as well.
So when you speak about down south in Atlanta and you speak about some conservatism, that's synonymous with religious. Yes or no?
Typically speaking, yes, but not necessarily.
Okay, so what do you identify with as far as religion goes?
I was raised as a Presbyterian. Currently, I attend Presbyterian is your more conservative church.
That's Presbyterian.
I got
so
it.
ignorant. I'm not
I just see it like ignorance is I can't.
I'm an immigrant. Like, I'm of an immigrant family. So when we came to the States, we were I attended a white church for majority of my life. That's what comes naturally. So when it comes to also traditional, like, conservative kind of beliefs, that's something I've seen all my life. But at the same time, you kind of go back to what you know.
Right. So when you were telling me or expressing to me how you've come to this foundation of marriage, you kind of stuttered in a sense. You made it about where you came from and how you came here and what it was that your family kind of fell into, right? And so that's all nice and dandy. I don't have an issue with that. But what I'm speaking to is what's true to you. I'm not talking about what it was that you was raised in or what it was that you fell into, but I want to know what's true to you. Not what's true to what it was that your parents did, but what it is that's true to you and what it is that you want for yourself.
I've been able to discover my own sexuality, relationships, all of that stuff. And I've realized at this point where I am, I'm like, you know what? I enjoy kind of like this freestyle lifestyle, but in the next year or 2 or 3, I would like to find a partner that I can grow with and establish a family with.
Can I interject?
That is where I am now.
One thing I would say to add to that is like, it's interesting because this is where I think the gap comes in. Because in my mind, growing up and like in general, I always thought when I was 28, like I'd be married. And that's not really...
When I was 11, I thought I'd be married at 25, but that's not the case.
Yeah,
you know
and I guess, and I still have that thought though. Like I still feel like...
Me too.
Part of what I think you and men, like in general, like don't have to worry about is what we think about constantly, or are conditioned to think about constantly, which is our biological clock. Like, it's in the back of all of our minds. I'm not really thinking about that necessarily, but I always thought that there would be some sort of timeline, like, oh, I'll have my first kid and blah, blah, and I don't want to be a high-risk pregnancy. Like,
what's high risk?
Older. 30,
after
35.
35.
Yeah.
Technically 33, but 35, yeah.
You know, and one of the tenets in Buddhism is that one of the points that lead to man's greatest anxiety and suffering is expectation and desire. And so I say that to say that it's by no coincidence, right? That we have 3 women in this conversation and you all feel that you should have been at a certain point by a certain time. Mind you, you guys came from different backgrounds, different parents, different everything, different whatever. But yet, this is a common thread amongst you 3. And so that to me is bewildering. That to me is concerning. Like that to me speaks to like how much of this is true to you. You just right now, in not so many words, just finished telling me that in the past couple of years in the relationships and the romps that you've had, you've enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
That was fun. So why not continue to do that? Why feel that you have to live within the shadow or within the expectations of your parent?
Because I'm not speaking for women. I just think it's because women want security. I think it's the societal thing where that's what they want. Like I had my fun, but I don't need it. And plus it's over. I think men want to continue to flourish and thrive in that. And that's what we live off of. It's like a very like primistic, like male conquer kind of thing. And women are like, cool, I got to experience that. I tested my sexuality. But if I got out the game 8 bodies ago or 4 relationships ago, I'd still be okay because this is what I aspire to, which is being with my man. As men want to, like, that marriage shit, I think for every man I've spoken to, they're not really pressed on it. It's a woman's kind of condition or thing you've seen. Right. For men, it's more so like, I'm having fun that you had, and I want to continue having it.
I feel like you brought up a good point in that, like, you men don't necessarily feel that, but we do because we love you. What it is that you go through is important to us. Sometimes there are men that compromise what it is that they want and they need for the sake of their woman's needs.
I don't know other men who would take that stance. To say that our needs should come first in that regard for them to compromise.
Come first. I just think he said feels it.
I feel it. I feel it. I'm not saying
he's putting it first.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, I've been in situations with female where they'd be like, I want to get married, I want to have kids, and I'd be like, that's good for you.
Exactly.
I hate you right now.
But there comes a point in time in a man's life where he's with a female, and you say that, and it's kind of like,
I guess we got to do it.
I guess it's time, man.
And it's hilarious because
tell us how old you are?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Why does it matter? You know what it is? At the end of the day, I'm a good dude. I was raised in a family that was predominantly matriarch. So I know what it is that women want. I know what it is that they desire. I know what it is that they want out of relationships. And so throughout my whole life, being around that, I've cultivated and I've sculpted myself to be that man.
For this context, people may not understand that. And they will...
How do we not understand that when we live in a society where it's absentee fathers?
But that has nothing to do with
That's
age.
not everybody's experience, though.
That has nothing to do with age. Like,
and that's exactly my point. It has
her.
nothing to do with age.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with age.
You have the tape, so you should be.
It's ageism.
I got thrown off. I don't even know where we were at prior to.
Just speak what you
And what I like I said, once again, another conversation I have all the time, which is it's hilarious when I hear the same kind of echo sentiments from women and men. Because I have a lot of male friends. We have the conversation and same conversation with my ex all the time. Where I say something to my boys, they get it. You don't have to explain anything. Say less, Ray. I completely understand what you're saying. And have conversations with females and like, what? That's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Guys are fucking dumb.
Women are from Venus, men are from Mars. We just communicate.
Irrespective of what planet we are, the objective is to meet a common ground.
We have a new addition to the
Inductee.
group.
Jerome.
I think we had a Jerome already.
Sloan.
So I've been sitting here and I've been listening to the conversation, and I don't think it's a age thing, even though age shapes your experiences.
Yeah.
And the longer that you're out here single as a woman, maybe that leads to and then the more relationships that you add on, it kind of leads to like a jaded perspective on things. Probably one of the best advice that I got from a guy, previous guy that I dated, he said, like, amongst his guy friends, like, us women, like, when you're in a relationship, sometimes we don't realize how we're, like, projecting stuff. Like, we might come off like they're just a placeholder. Or you need someone to get married to. It doesn't matter if it's you.
Fire.
You just want to...
I'll take whoever's available.
You just want to be married. You just want kids. You just want a lifestyle.
Jones.
And... it's not a connection thing. It's not a passion thing. It's not, oh, we're going to build this life. Like you say you want to...
This is the puzzle piece.
You say you've been living your life, right?
Yeah.
You could have been living your life with someone, your best life, with someone that you truly was, into and loved and everything. But I think we have the perception of, okay, I'm going to be out here living my best life, and then at this age, this is going to happen, and at this age, this is going to happen, when that's not how life works. I was telling you how I was talking to a guy, and he was giving me his timeline of the next year or so.
Right.
And
did he fit with yours?
I it doesn't fit with mine, but I was willing to shift stuff.
Right.
To maybe fit with it, not knowing where this is going to go. It's just a feeling that I had, and I was going to go with that feeling. A lot of times in the past, I'd be like, well, no, that doesn't fit with mine. I have to break this off because... that doesn't align with marriage. That doesn't align with this. And so you kind of like hinder, you stunt yourself.
But that's just selfish, though.
No, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's selfish.
I'm just somewhere in between.
I just feel like
I'm not about to change everything for you, but I have no problem compromising.
I just feel like
I know that
for
sounds
the right person. So everyone was saying like, how come for this girl you're like, all right, I'll do it. For the right person, the right feeling, and the right relationship, that's gonna happen.
I just feel like the whole institution of marriage is framed and designed for women.
Yo, listen. This is about... Yeah, we're like long lost brothers. Men read from the same hand, but like it's for women. It's for them, and they want to aspire to.
Why do you feel that?
Okay, wait.
I mean, like, I feel like what she's saying is true to a certain extent. Like, women, I feel like not necessarily a placeholder, but it's like if I'm with somebody or I'm dating somebody, if they're not like the one type or something like that, it's like you guys, I feel like, will hold on to things, and you guys are all holding on for that hope of like that person like changing, doing things to like ultimately get married. And I feel like we're in the same boat, but we're not like, I'm not trying to hope everyone's my wife. I'm trying to figure people out. You guys are like, how can I change? How can I do this? How can I do this to make every person that person? And that whole like, and it's like, that's not always necessarily going to work. So it's like, I think guys feel like we're not pressed to get married. We're not as pressed to get married, or some of us aren't pressed at all to get married. So
I want
like,
to get married.
I waver back and forth if I believe in marriage. Like, like, cause it's like, why do people want to get married? It's like, you want to have kids, you want to do all this for what? To like fit in with society, to like make up for your shortcomings?
Security, quote unquote security.
It's like, what do people really want to do? I mean, I'll pass it to you and pass it back.
I truly appreciate you saying that, because I think that was the core of what we're discussing right now, is the underlying tones of why we have those desires, of why we have those pictures in our mind that create those wants and needs, and this picture of like a family and all those things.
So I'm reading a book, but before I was even... All right, I'm reading a book. It's by Marilyn Yalom. And the title of the book is called The History of the Wife. And basically she gives the breakdown of how the term wife and what it means from before the 1100s to currently and what it means, right? So remember how in another conversation, in another podcast that never existed, I have brought up a comment about how...
You or E?
Some guy named E. He had said something about we need to start looking at the social terms under which we live in a scientific manner, right? And if people understand what the scientific method is you formulate a hypothesis.
Okay.
We use the scientific method for everything else but how we live socially. So let's break it down. So first, there's a problem.
What is the problem?
The problem for me is, why is it that every woman at this table comes from different families, different backgrounds, different circumstances, but yet there's a common thread between all of them, and it's this expectation of wanting to get married.
And that's a problem.
So my hypothesis may be...
Why aren't there enough
all women want to get married?
Society, right? It has something to do with society. Okay, so what about society? Right? What about society brings you to that problem? So then you have to gather information.
Right.
You have to gather data.
Right.
Right? And so
Good point.
And so the data that we have that brings us to this point socially is human pattern. Everything that we know about anything is something that someone discovers something at a certain point in history. And so that became a theory, or that became truth. And so we compound it. Us as humans that have evolved and come after the ages have compounded upon Isaac Newton's laws of gravity, Galileo's theories that the sun doesn't revolve around us, but rather that we're heliocentric. And we compound on these theories. Why do we not do that with human behavior?
What are your findings on human behavior in that?
So human behavior, when we go as far as back as we can, was very there was hunters and gatherers.
Yeah.
Right? And societies at that point in time were very matriarch. You, like the women,
Produce life.
produce life. Like we as men can't do that. You females are the gods. You determine life. You guys stood back, dealt with the harvest, rationed it out, piled it away for the winter, as we men sacrificed our lives so that you and the children could live. You are the goddess. We, as a community, as men, came and brought food so that the group could live. With agriculture, now I'm talking about evolution, right? We evolved between this hunter and gatherer. As evolution evolved, there was a surplus, right? So now it's no longer about us as a group living. Now it's more so about, I learned how to do this farming shit. I got it on lock. I know how to plant this and make so much so that whoever it is that I'm tied to and whoever it is that I procreate to, I can pass that on. So now that creates a domination over what she can do and over what it is that she can produce. So now I need you to create these children so that they can pass down this harvest. So for all those that can't, now I'm exploiting and I'm oppressing y'all so that y'all can farm for me. And how do you make that distinction of who that harvest and who that production goes to? That goes to who she and I have produced, who she and I have created. So now I, as a man, hold dominance over that. Now I possess a woman. In order for her to feel some sense of worth, she has to have a man that can procreate an offspring that's of worth. And so now what does she look to in men? She looks for a man that can provide.
Strong.
A man that's strong.
I feel like we're in class.
So where
All of us.
A man that could create some type of stability.
So bring us on
I think she has a
home.
comment.
What you trying to
So I'm
say?
gonna bring y'all on home. A man that could create some type of stability.
I think she has a
But mind you, this is an apartment that's only full of what?
I mean,
Hold on one second. Who pays the rent?
we do.
Who brings the bacon to the table?
We do.
Where the fuck is the man at?
It's a different time.
It's apartment.
It got nothing to do with the time, but it has everything to do with the origin of we as humans and what we are.
I think it does with time.
irrespective of you and how you feel as a woman, man and woman is not man and woman, they would have you believe that it's equal. But me, in my personal opinion, I would say that it's not. I would say that women have a superior power to men. Woo! And men know that.
I agree with that.
And in order to circumvent that, how do we circumvent that? How do we channel that power? And we channel that power by exploiting
Patriarchy.
By patriarchy.
So, yeah. So I definitely agree with
the evolution.
Yeah, the evolution of our roles. I take it a step further.
Our social relations.
I take it a step further. So when we did have that surplus, and let's say, Cole he has cattle and you have sheep or whatever, then commerce comes into play.
Currency.
Yeah, well, back then it was just that was their currency. It was their currency. Right. Yeah, it was bartering.
Right.
And you have all these kids. It's not a thing of love. It's a thing of, we're going to merge these two families because they're...
Economically, it makes sense.
Right. So if you look back to, like, European civilization, just, all of the monarchs that are out there, people are marrying their actual cousins from other cousins to keep money and power within their realms. If you look back at, like, just marriage in general, like diamonds, for instance, diamonds didn't come into play until, like, the 20s and 30s, because that's when mining really became a thing. Before that, when you got married, you weren't getting a diamond ring, you were getting some kind of family heirloom, whatever that might have been. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like it's an evolution as far as, like, marketing, especially to women, about these diamonds and a lifestyle that you're supposed to achieve. And I feel like it is a force of controlling, so to say. Like, we're controlling a household, we're controlling a society as to how we see society should be and our roles in society. I mean, if you look back in only 50, 60 years, we were at home, or we were secretaries, or that's it.
Subordinate roles.
That was our role in life.
Right.
That's where they put us. Even though if you look back into far history, women did pretty much everything that a man did or whatever.
Ruling nations.
So I don't know. I think it's coupled with, all this advertising of marriage and stuff. Like, you have groupthink as women. Like you said, like, you want to do all these things and everything, but you all of a sudden you start feeling like, oh, should I be married? Should I be doing this? If you look around, maybe your friends are getting married. Maybe they're doing this, and you feel like that's the expectation. Right. But you gotta stick true to yourself and be like, okay, is this what I want? Do I really want to be married?
And you're onto something.
Am I okay not being?
I will say this. Yo, when it comes to life, I think that everybody wants somebody who's like a partner, or how that looks, right?
That's your own opinion.
Like,
for life, though.
Okay, that's my own opinion. I agree. We all have ideals on what we want in our current state of mind, right? I can see both sides. That's all I'm saying. And
do you think you missed the boat?
No.
So my thing is, you can do all of that. You don't have to be married, and you don't have to not be married. You could just live.
But my thing is this. My thing is just how much of that is true to you, and as opposed to what it is that's been deposited into you.
So I think that's a good thought to end on. Yeah. What's true for you, and not just what you're... No shade to you, I'm just saying in general. Like, not just what we're trying to mirror from what we see or what our parents raised us on or what our cultures have raised us on. Like, what do we think is good for us, despite the fact that we've been maybe conditioned to think about specific things about procreating and marriage and biological clocks and all that bullshit.
Yo, this was a long ass conversation that I did not expect to go in this direction. I just want to make that very clear. Yo, I was gonna cuffing season was gonna be a humorous, light conversation. This has been fun. I think this is healthy. I think this is good because I don't think we talk about this enough, especially perspectives. Thank you for listening. Check us out on Instagram, black_meets_world. Find us on blackmeetsworld@gmail.com. If you have any questions, want to email us some topics. We're on Facebook as well, Black Meets World. God bless. Hopefully this was insightful.
Good night, y'all.
And I'm saying, good night.